Thank you very much. We are in Pietermaritzburg, where there is a bank, the food bank in KwaZulu-Natal, that is going to be distributing food in around the province to make sure that all the members of the communities in KwaZulu-Natal will be getting food from the Department of Social Development. Next to me is Babu Klaba. Babu Klaba, thank you very much for your time. Briefly, can you tell us about this program?
We as social development, we are responsible for poverty alleviation, and in this instance with the lockdown that we are experiencing as a result of COVID-19, we are distributing food packs to needy families across the province. We are partnering with the Solidarity Fund and the Action Development Agency to ensure that those needy families receive nutritious meals in the form of food packs. As you can see behind us, these food packs are being sent throughout the province of KwaZulu-Natal. We've got 4 depots, 4 food banks that we have established in the province. This one here in Pietermaritzburg, there's another one in Mpangeni, another one in Durban, and another one in Dundee, so that we reach all corners of the province in the quickest time possible because of the agency that we have in terms of ensuring that as quickly as possible, communities who are needy, households that are needy, receive food as speedily as possible.
We are talking about food. What kind of food is this that the department is basically distributing?
Well, we are guided by the Department of Health and Nutrition guidelines. So we've got starch, we've got vegetables, we've got proteins, and we've got dairy products that are here. But also we are cognizant that because of the COVID-19 lockdown guidelines, people need to wash their hands regularly. So we've included soaps so that people are able to wash their hands and keep hygiene levels at a high level.
How are the recipients selected?
Well, there are various ways in which the recipients are selected. Firstly, we've got war room structures through Operation Sukumasaka in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, where families, households who are in need go and report to the local leadership, whether it's councillors or it's church leaders or Inkosi or Induna, and those lists are then compiled and submitted to the department, and then we respond to those needs. However, before we actually respond, we do an assessment whether those households that have been identified and put in the list do really qualify. We've got our own criteria in terms of who qualifies. It would be people who are unemployed. It would be people with no income at all. It would be people who have no source of food because lockdown has meant that people cannot go out and eke out a living. So we look at those aspects and then we provide food relief to those households.
There's also a concern that councillors are also participating in distributing food and they end up taking the food for themselves and their families. What is the department is doing in trying to make sure that this is not happening in KwaZulu-Natal?
That is why we use the transparency of the community structures, so that if it goes through the Operation Sukumasaka structure, it goes through the war room, everybody in the community would know the families that benefit and would know whether those families have received the food as required or as requested, so that it's not only particular families that receive food and others do not. So because of the transparency of the system, we ensure that there are no families that are discriminated against. However, we have a provincial command structure that ensures that the needs from all the corners of the province are consolidated. And then we've got our MEC champions who work with the district command structures, who are going to make sure that food is going to the people who really need the food, so that there is no discrimination against particular families and so on and so on.
So is this food solely from the Department of Social Development, or there are other businesses that are lending hand?
Today here, this launch that we are witnessing is a launch of the partnership between ourselves, Department of Social Development, and Solidarity Fund. Remember, Solidarity Fund was established by the President to assist during this period of lockdown. So it's the money that we receive from Solidarity Fund. Solidarity Fund receives money from various sources, and those sources then are combined together, pulled together, so that there's a substantial amount of money that then goes towards assisting the country. And in this instance, we are assisting different families, different households in the province.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
There was Babu Klaba from the Department of Social Development is briefing us in relation to the plan. How are they planning to distribute this food from different food banks in the province? Next to me, there's also the MEC for the department who will briefly tell us about the plan also. MEC, thank you very much for your time. Tell us about the concerns that you have in relation to this distribution.
Yes, I do have concerns, especially there's an outcry out there. We can't, as politicians, politicize the issue of food. There's an outcry about councillors, the manner in which they handle themselves, the manner in which they distribute food. It is uncalled for. You can't jump this house and give this house. We are with COVID-19 as KwaZulu-Natal and South Africa. Our mandate and the mandate of the President, given by the President, is to feed KwaZulu-Natal and feed those destitute families. So we can't allow that. And I know that councillors are accountable to the speakers of the municipalities, because we were very much doing it in the correct way, in saying at least as of now, we cannot have war rooms at the moment. Let us have lists submitted by councillors, because councillors are the very closer people to individuals who are needy, and the very closer people to anyone who can come up with a needy person. So as of now, we don't find that joy, and by the end of by the look of things, we will have speakers to hold the councillors accountable. As of now, we have people who dedicated their lives in ensuring that we have this mandate successfully. We have our artists. We have about Joy Mbewana, about the rest of the artists. I've seen Mlondi. I've seen the number of them. They have been here packaging. Yabon. We can't allow. It's one of the situations. It needs very patriotic citizens. And as South Africa, we need to be very patriotic. And my concern as well, we receive a number of comments, the very negative comments about the gender-based violence issues as of now. And as KZN, we have a number of incidents which have been sent to us. As of now, from here, we are going to Impendle, where one of the grannies have been killed. In fact, the culprit just went to that room and killed and strangled her and raped the three daughters. It is uncalled for. Let us unite as KZN, let us unite as South Africa in dealing with all these matters. We know that lockdown comes with its own frustrations. We have frustrated kids who just rely on their parents. We urge their parents just to come closer to their kids and make friends with their kids. We need those parents. At least believe in your kid. If your kid says something and is frustrated by something, just believe in your kid. That's what we urge our communities to do.
Thank you very much, MEC. There was the MEC for Social Development in KwaZulu-Natal. Behind us is a truck, one of the trucks that is already packed with food that will be distributing the food in and around Pietermaritzburg or in and around the Midlands to make sure that the citizens who doesn't have anything to eat, they will have something today, because the province of KwaZulu-Natal and including some businesses in the province, they've donated this food to them. Back to you in studio.
Mlondi Radebe, thank you so much for that provincial update. Now let's go back to that conversation.